me, I think if we could get 2 or 3 more, that would be fantastic.
Okay. Okay.
I'll be there.
Keith is offered.
Thank you.
All right. Good. Good. Did I see you raise your hand, Troy? About it? No?
No, but I can. I mean, I guess.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
Brief on the chamber. Come on over here.
Okay, I'm coming.
This is weird, I know, but
So, okay, Chamber, we have Small Business Saturday coming up, Saturday after Thanksgiving. But we're scratching Saturday and putting weekend, Small Business Weekend, so that you come down and shop all, and then we're gonna scratch weekend and put season. So we really wanna support the small businesses in our town for this whole season. We've got the fire pits are still happening on Friday nights. The market is still happening on Friday nights. We've got the hometown holiday parade. Not parade, it's a drive-through.
Parade in place.
Yeah. Well, they don't like that term either. I don't know what they want to call it. But so that's going to be happening at the Expo Center the first weekend in December, the 4th, 5th, and 6th. And it's in the evening, 4 hours each evening. You drive through. Think of it as like a zoo-like scene. You drive through, and all the floats are all lit up. The buildings are all lit up. There's decorations everywhere. We have 3 stages. There's live nativity scenes. The ballet dancers are doing Nutcracker. There's a Santa Land. It's going to be spectacular. So you definitely want to do that. It's $10 for a carload of people. Does anybody have any questions about any of this? Online? Nobody?
When is that date for the parade again? I'm sorry, I missed that.
It's 3 days. It's the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which is the 4th, 5th, and the 6th.
Yeah.
So you can pick a night you want to go and drive through it. It should be great. We're hoping next year we'll be able to walk through, but right now we're just trying to stay COVID safe.
What hours is it open each on those nights?
5 to 9.
5 to 9? Is it 5 to 9 each night?
I've been to these before for Troy. They're really very cool and very successful.
Right, and there's gonna be some food trucks as you're waiting in line to get in. That you can get some kettle corn, you can get some scones or hot chocolate and stuff like that, so that you can eat in your car as you drive through. It should be great.
Great idea.
Yeah. So, all right, that's the chamber.
all right. Thank you. Any other announcements? Bill, anything from the district?
Not really.
Okay.
I have one cheesy announcement.
Go ahead.
Cheesy. For everyone last year that got to taste Cosmic Crisp apples, and no one has seen them in the stores this year, they announced they're going to release them nationwide the 23rd of November, just before Thanksgiving. Now, I know that probably doesn't concern all of you people too much, but it concerns me because I love them. And the other thing is, everyone please go on, if you haven't registered, go on My Rotary, go on Rotary Club Central. There's a lot going on in the district that a lot of people don't know about because it's just not getting out there. Too much for me to say. There is a lot if you just go online. Kent Sunrise is meeting live. You're meeting live. There's 2 others that are starting to meet live. I think Covington's going to go live next month. And just get out there. We go out, our club goes out and cleans the roads. We put a Rotary sign up, we go out and clean the roads. Just be visible, that's all you can do. And don't try to do too much, just try to be visible. It's very important to get together, if you can, in small groups, to stay active. Like this is
It's a call.
get together in a small group, just stay active.
Yeah.
Otherwise, everyone's just going to get down. So that's really all I have. But the Cosmic Crisp apples, if you never tasted them, they are absolutely fantastic.
Where can we get it?
They're supposed to be released nationwide. They're supposed to be farmers markets in the state of Washington, only everyone else, Fred Meyer's, Kroger's, Safeway. They're kind of expensive. And they're a lot better than Honey Crisp.
Wait a minute. I have a small Honeycrisp orchard.
Yes.
They're somewhat better than Honeycrisp.
Somewhat. They're a cross between an Enterprise and a Honeycrisp.
Yeah, I know about the guy who I'm in partnership with also has, he got a lot of,
The only thing they're not good for, at least I haven't found it, they're horrible for apple pies.
anybody would use it for an apple pie and eat their head inside.
They do. I put one in there and they turn to mush.
Yeah,
Very
they're
much.
strictly,
They're strictly free and they do keep well.
and they really.
Turn to apple sauce, is that what you're saying, Phil?
All
right.
Your time.
All right. Any other announcements online or here?
Jerry,
Pardon?
Jerry.
Oh, Jerry, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I just wanted to announce that we closed our big gift weekend for the Enumclaw Bank. And I wanted to thank all of you Rotarians who supported that. Between Mullins and ourselves and our matching campaign, we were able to raise almost $1,000. So couple that with the 500 from Rotary, which Cindy, the gal who runs it was crying on the phone this morning when I talked to her. So thank you. They're going to be able to stay afloat with that $1,500. So thank you for all your support.
That's great. Any other announcements? All right. We're moving on. This is the new experiment that I've been trying to implement, and it's the business to business piece. I've asked Mike Adams to kind of talk about what he does. You got 2 minutes, Mike.
Right. Let me start my watch. Okay. Thanks, Brian. Hey,
You're welcome. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfectly.
Okay. All right, great. Yeah, so I think most of you know that I work for Mutual Enumclaw Insurance Company, or as we call it here at the company, Beau, because it's a lot easier to say than Mutual Enumclaw, let alone type every day. Beau does business. It's a regional company. I'd say we call it a medium-sized regional company in that we operate in 7 states now: Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Utah, Wyoming, Arizona, and Montana. And we moved into Montana a couple of years ago, and then moved into Wyoming actually this year. Company was founded in 1898 here in Enumclaw, and you guys all know where we are on Wells Street. Actually, if you drive by the building, the one-story part of it with the angled wall is actually the entrance to the original building. That's the way the original building was set up, and then it's just been built on from there. Started by 12 farm families here in Enumclaw. First agent rode a horse and signed people up, collected premiums. We're the largest farm insurer in Washington. I think we may be the largest in Idaho too, but I'm not sure. And our business is about 55-60% personal lines and 45-50% or 40% basically commercial and farm. Probably our biggest competitors in the region are Safeco and personal lines, Grange, PIMCO and personal lines, and Grange, Liberty Mutual, Nationwide, Travelers, and farm and commercial. So the company's been around for a while. We're kind of proud of the fact that we have multi-generational employees working in the company. I would say working in the building, but right now, I'm in the building today. I come in a couple of days a week, but right now there's probably 7 or 8 people in the building with me, in the building built for 200 or 400. We have about 380 employees, and I know I've got like 20 seconds, Brian. We got about 380 employees. Many of them are work from home full time already, and we're looking to grow in other states. This year's been a little tough between COVID and the wildfires. We're dealing with that, but we're very enthusiastic and optimistic about the future. And we call our insurance members because we are mutual, and they actually own the company. So there you go.
Can I ask a question, Ryan?
Yeah, Troy would like to ask a question.
Sure.
So, Mike, Are you guys looking to change your business model to have more at-home employees and stay that way and less people in the building? Or are you gonna eventually try and bring them back into the building, employees?
I can't comment about that, Troy.
Because you don't know, or because you can't, not allowed?
Because I can't comment about it.
Okay.
I can tell you that, Troy, I can tell you.
Yeah.
That the claims department is the biggest department in the company, and a good part of them already work from home.
Okay.
So they wouldn't be coming back. But as far as the rest goes, the truth is I can't tell you. It's a business decision, and it hasn't been communicated yet, and it's actually up to the individual managers. So.
But it's a large impact on our town, you know, a lot of the employees come down for lunch and whatnot, and shopping and things. So it's just, you know, that's why the chamber would, you know,
sure.
like when you're able to tell me, I would appreciate it.
Well, when I'm able to, I will, yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
You bet.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Thank you very much.
You bet. Thank you.
Steve, you are our Sergeant at Arms this week. And I am looking for a volunteer for Sergeant at Arms for next month. So don't all raise your hands at once, but I need somebody.
I'll do it if no one else will.
There you go.
I could be objective.
That is true.
Oh.
Okay, so we don't have a big formal program for Sergeant at Arms. However, yesterday was Veterans Day, and who in our group is a veteran? I see Chuck. We heard about, yes. And I have on my list that Juanita was also. I believe I mentioned Tammy was, and then also Bart and Dick James and Dr. Ralph Zdeck was in the Navy. So those are some of our veterans, and thank you everyone who has served. For today, do we want to do any happy bucks or suck bucks? This is your chance. If you have anything to brag about or moan about, please go ahead and raise a hand or let us know.
I'll do a happy buck.
All right, so we have Keith.
So for those who are here, there's noise outside. We're getting new gutters replaced on our building, which needed to be done 10 or 15 years ago. It's just been terrible, and so it's taken us forever to find somebody to pay a whole bunch of money to do work for us. It's amazing. Like, please. And so finally, a good company's coming in and doing it, and I am just thrilled. I never thought I'd be thrilled about gutters, but there I am. So.
I've been through that experience, and life should not be that hard. Anyone else?
I got $100.
Whoa! Oh my God!
I got $100 because this is the biggest meeting that any club in the district is having live.
That's
All right,
sad.
I think that's cool.
This gentleman over here.
Phil,
Thank you, Phil.
that is awesome. Thank you.
We have to ring the bell for that one.
Yeah, there you go.
Who was that?
What was it for?
Bill, he's our
Go Steele.
assistant.
It didn't come from the district. It came from me.
He's the
Assistant
AG.
Attorney
I'm a local
AG,
pastor.
Attorney,
Give me a break.
acting assistant general.
Assistant governor?
What you said.
Well, thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you,
so
Phil.
anything else? I will relinquish to you.
All right. Any other?
Somebody's birthday.
Oh, let's get to the birthdays. Well, I heard a rumor that Scott Gray was having a birthday today.
Yes,
Is that
I am.
true? Happy birthday, Scott.
There's another rumor that if it falls on the day of a meeting, you all have to sing happy birthday to her.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Scott. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, you also got to pay us the fine, though, buddy.
Yeah, fine goes to Troy.
And a $5 spinning
What's your
wheel.
favorite birthday cake, Scott?
Anything chocolate.
Next Wednesday is Alan Gamblin's birthday, so that's another one coming up. And have we missed anyone? I don't think so. All right, Brian, you're in charge.
Thank you, Steve. So, just to clarify, Phil, when you said this is the largest meeting you've been to, or what
This is the only meeting I've been to, but there's only a couple clubs that are meeting live. They're only meeting with a couple of people.
All right. Okay.
So this one's kind
All
of
right. So we're the winner chicken dinner.
You're the winner.
That's all right.
This company came from me, not from the district. I just want to emphasize.
Well, thank you very much. You didn't need to do that, but thank you. Appreciate it. So that is all I have for the preliminaries. We have the main event coming up here. Beau
That's great. That's great. Well done. You
Close
got
enough?
it. It's perfect.
All right, good.
Right on.
From Knok Studio is coming, and I know that we had Noah on here from Green River. He had to back out at the last minute, so Beau offered to come and replace him. So thank you, Daryl, for getting Beau here, and we're excited. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn you guys around, and hopefully you can see the screen, and Beau is going to present from the screen.
We're going to click source, and just like that, it changes. Beautiful. Very nice. Okay. We need to document this right here, that you guys are being so responsible and also big happy faces. Here we go. Big happy smile. 1, 2, 3. Very nice. Did everybody at home smile for that? I don't know if you smiled at home for that. But anyway, hey, we're going to just kind of crank you over here like so you can kind of hopefully see the screen and me as well. You can?
Too much light on the screen, you can't really.
Too much light. Oh, that's a little overexposed for you right there. Oh, I gotcha. Well, I suppose what we could do is crank it a little bit that way so that it expose. Great. Now you can't see me, but at least you can see the screen. Great. Awesome.
Yeah, well, the screen's like too much to be right.
Well, hey, everybody out there in Facebook land, right here, as well as there. This is probably the most people I have ever had in my life listening to me. So I'm going to make it short and sweet. First, an introduction. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Knok Studio today, but not just Knok Studio. We will be giving you some hints, tips, and tricks for your own business in the spirit of business to business. How I run Knok Studio is similar to a business, not that it's all about profit, but point being is that we have a budget. We're very, very careful with how we run things, so it's not just kind of a warm, fluffy, fly by the seat of your pants nonprofit. Knok Studio, capture impact and broadcast love. But first, who is this strange, eccentric gentleman in front of you today? Well, this is me and my wonderful family. I have a lot of side hustles. Matter of fact, I have a list right here so that I wouldn't drone on. I am on city council here in the wonderful city of Enumclaw. City council position number 2. I do wear a bow tie. That's called branding. Branding, everybody, branding. And I am a viral YouTuber. Yes, if you were to YouTube me, I would be everywhere there. I teach self-defense locally. I'm a Christian. I love Jesus. I go to Wabash Church. And I'm also the inventor of tactical hair clips. Yes, that's right. Tactical hair clips. You people at home, you can actually look these up on Amazon. But I'm not trying to sell you guys. This isn't the gimmick for me trying to do that there. Let's see. I'm an Amazon reviewer in the top 100 out of 33 million reviewers. I do commercial videography, including real estate videography, which I have done for one of our wonderful real estate brokers right here. Thank you, Lori. Give you an extra $1 later. All right, but really it's not about those little side hustles right there. It's about Knok Studio. There I am with the camera. There I am in Cambodia. There I am in Mexico. I think that's in Sierra Leone, West Africa. I like climbing mountains. I like to do all sorts of fun things. But Knok Studio, in short, we are a nonprofit film studio, and we produce film for other nonprofits. But that sounds very boring, doesn't it? I'm going to tell you a little bit about story crafting. But first, I'm going to give you an example of one of these very short films. Don't worry, it's not too long. And then we're going to kind of reverse engineer that and tell you a little bit about story crafting and how you can use it for your own business. Here we go. And
I was really affected when I first became a believer when I was 19 by a book that I read where the writer of the book talked about overhearing a group of prostitutes talking about how they had never celebrated a birthday, and he had bought for her gifts and a birthday cake and balloons and left it with the cafe owner because he was leaving the country. And when he was asked why, he'd said, "Because I serve a God who throws parties for prostitutes." That phrase, it impacted me so much because that was the God I wanted to know. That was the God I wanted to serve. Someone who would, yeah. He's the God of the sewer. He's the God of the sewer. And we try to convince ourselves that he's the God of the shiny stainless steel kitchen, and he's not. He's the God of the sewer. He left paradise to come to the sewer that we've made of our lives. And I feel like if we love him, if we know him, we need to be up to here in the sewer ourselves.
I guess as I read the Gospels of Jesus, I'm always really struck with how intentional Jesus was about seeking out the most vulnerable, the marginalized, the poor. As he announced what he was all about, he said he was here to bring good news to the poor and to free the oppressed and heal the sick. And it's kind of always been my drive to follow in that, and wherever we've been, kind of being aware of who those people are around us. And when we moved here to the city, we were really struck about how rampant this world of prostitution is here, more than anywhere else we've seen in this country. But there are thousands, perhaps tens of thousands of prostitutes working in different areas of the city and in this country.
A la edad de 6 años murieron mis dos papás. Antes de cumplir 14 años, de mis 6 años para mis 14 años, yo sufrí muchos tipos de abuso en mi casa, donde vivía. No tenía ese apoyo, no tuve ese amor, eso que una persona necesita, un abrazo, de que alguien le diga a uno, eres fuerte, tienes que seguir adelante. Siempre de rodillas le pedí a Dios, siempre ha sido parte de mi vida, creer en Dios desde niña, y siempre de rodillas he orado.
How do you break the cycle? It is a very long, very relationship intense process. It's long and it's hard and it's expensive in time and money.
It's not so easy to just approach women where they're working and make conversation and try to develop relationships. But if we had a place that we could draw them to, somewhere they know would be safe, or they can just relax and hang out.
So we're going to make it like a mobile cafe type place.
For one thing, it'll be used as a drop-in ministry center where women can come off the street just to sit down and relax and talk, to pray with them, and do what we're already doing in our fixed ministry center.
Ahorita aquí tenemos miedo porque nos están matando compañeras. Aguanta uno muchas humillaciones. Y Dios primero, en un par de meses, 4 children whose names were Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy. This story is about something that happened to them.
Por ese tiempo de conocer un poco de más de tu historia, Señor, en tu precioso nombre. The gospel has always been first for the people who are in the most vulnerable places, and it doesn't get more broken, more vulnerable, more oppressed than women who are having to work and eke out a living prostituting themselves.
I'm asking that one day when we're in heaven, I'm standing at the back of the crowd with thousands and thousands of women who were once prostitutes. I just want to see them. Yeah.
If you wouldn't mind grabbing the lights real quickly here, because these other slides right here won't be the most important for you folks back at home. Okay, deep breath there. That is a film produced by our nonprofit of Knok Studio for some folks in Guatemala. Zone 1 in Guatemala it was exciting. It's considered the highest homicide rate in all of Central America, not just that city, but that actual zone right there. Zone 1, they call it. And so, these people right here, they are what I would call the hero of the story. And this is what I want to break down for you guys. And if you're back at home or watching online, Google story brand. And if you look up story brand, you'll find this exact image if it's a little washed out. And this will absolutely revolutionize your marketing. I'm not trying to oversell too much right here, am I? So story brand is this concept of, it's a formula on how you tell a story. And you're probably familiar with this formula. If you were to pretty much think about any classic movie, Star Wars, for example, you have the hero who finds a mentor after discovering a problem. The mentor then pushes the hero towards making a choice. And at that point, the hero then goes on a journey. Ultimately, there's this whole quest, climax, new balance, all that. And then finally, there's this resolution, either success or trauma. Now, I know I just smashed through that really, really fast, but if you were to reverse engineer that based off of Star Wars, who is the hero of Star Wars? Everybody? Luke Skywalker, very nice, very nice. In New Hope, specifically, he meets someone who is his mentor. Who is his mentor? Obi-Wan Kenobi, very nice, good. And I suppose you could go into Empire Strikes Back and talk about Yoda and whatnot, but ultimately, Obi-Wan gives him a choice. You know, will you come with me, you know, and be trained as a Jedi or just stay here on Tatooine? That was his choice. And as you follow this fascinating trajectory of story brand, where you have the character, they experience the problem, the guide gives them a plan. Finally, there's this call to action, and you know that there's a lot at stake. Basically, these are consequences. What happens if this does not happen, if this does not, well, the Imperials win, right, from Star Wars. You could go into The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings. Who's the hero? Who's the hero? Who's the hero? Everybody back at home? Frodo. Or in The Hobbit, it would be Bilbo, right? Who is the mentor? The guide. Gandalf, very good. Gandalf is the guide or the mentor. And Gandalf gives Frodo, or Bilbo if you're reading The Hobbit, the plan, and ultimately there's this call to action. It's just fascinating how this formula for storytelling is so woven within us. It's almost weird when we see a movie that does not follow this formula. We almost call the movie pretentious. And we say, well, who's going to watch that? And usually it gets an award at the Academy Awards. And it drives us crazy. But you could go into Tron, you could go into The Matrix, you can go into Pirates of the Caribbean. You could even go into this interesting brand. You may have heard of them before. They've been rated 6 years in a row The nation's most favorite fast food restaurant, Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A uses the story brand model. And once you start identifying some people, some brands that are so good with smashing their service or product into this formula, it works. In a weird sort of way, it works. And I almost wonder from a Christian perspective if it's almost woven within our DNA, because you could also look at the story of Christ, right? You have Jesus, who's kind of this, this nobody from the small town, or nobody according to, was it Nathaniel, who said, who comes out of Nazareth? What good comes out of there? The mentor, I guess you could kind of make the argument that God, the Father, is the mentor. He's kind of in charge of the grand plan. And he follows the same trajectory. And I think it resonates with us because I think the story is woven within our very DNA. And so, Knok Studio, if I were to use that as an example, story time. The problem. First you start with the problem, or the villain. The villain in this particular case is isolation. So that video that you saw, Tamar's Hope, amazing people, but they're isolated. They're in the gutters. As they said, they're in the sewers. They're up to here in the sewers, which is so cool. But they're so busy with their work, no one knows what they're doing. And thus, they're isolated. So, we have the hero. You would think that Knok Studio would be the hero, but I don't think too highly of myself there. Knok Studio is actually the mentor or the guide. The hero is actually the donors. Those who fund Knok Studio, those who send Knok Studio. We have the plan, we have the expertise, we have the empathy, we have the authority. We've been around since 2011, but ultimately, the heroes are the people who send us. And so our plan is to make films for these people. We flew down to Guatemala. We also flew down last year, right before COVID hit. We went, filmed Corner of Love. Lisa, you may be familiar with Corner of Love. And we filmed for them right on the border of the Costa Rica-Nicaragua border. I went down with my family. And on each of these trips, we actually film a lot. So it's very economical with how we film. It's not just, a $2,000 plane ticket to Liberia. That's one film. We actually do a lot when we're there. Finally, we ask ourselves, what is at stake? Where's that? At stake, potential loss. If Tamar's Hope, these people who we produced the film for, if they're not seen, if they continue to remain isolated, then, they crumble. They pack up their bags and they go home. I'm sure you've probably met many missionaries and awesome ministries out there in the world doing fantastic work, and they get burned out. It's just simply because there's no support. No one knows what they're doing. So we come along and we become the megaphone for these people. And finally, you're to ask, what is the success? We've been doing this quite a while, and we've produced arguably thousands of short films. We produce a lot. I say we, it's myself and this other fellow of Hayden Wilkins, and also some wonderful volunteers out there as well. And the ROI, to use business type language here, is huge. If we were to make a $600 film, it's not unheard of for them to play it at a fundraiser, along with other things. It's not like this magic formula, but wow, hey, they just raised $100,000. Wow, because you're taking the audience, you're taking everybody at home or watching on Facebook or you guys right here, and you were just transported to Guatemala, specifically Zone 1 in Guatemala City, the most dangerous, according to homicide rate, the most dangerous place in Central America. And you saw what they were doing. You saw the people. That should make you really, really excited. And that makes me very, very, very excited. So how do we get there? How do we get there? Really, it's about the people who send us, the heroes. And if that's a little washed out for you guys at home, basically it says Knok Studio, patreon.com/Knok. We've got 17 monthly donors on there who pledge. I think we're at $857 per month right now. And what we like to do is if it's like, for example, Rotary, not trying to oversell you on anything here, but if Rotary was like, we're gonna pledge $1,000 a month, basically that would get us to $2,000, meaning that would be 6 films a month that we produce, which is unheard of in the entertainment industry. And so, yeah, if you guys are interested, you're certainly welcome to. I am honestly not trying to oversell anything. I am very, very, very passionate about what we do, but I do recognize that it does take the hero to actually connect with the guide to in partnership to do that. So that's why I dropped that in there right there. Now, what time is it? It's 12:52. I admire your time greatly. How much time do we have for questions and answers?
3 more minutes.
3 more minutes. 3 more minutes. All right. Hopefully I didn't bore you guys too much or you guys there. We're going to have questions, comments, insults, or free pizza coupons for yours truly. And I'm an open book. What's on your mind? Fire hose. Yes?
What's been your favorite trip?
What's been my favorite trip is the question. The question for all of you. What has been my favorite trip? Oh boy, my favorite trips are the ones that I get to go on with my family. Absolutely. Whether it's Central America, Guatemala, Nicaragua, Costa Rica. Haven't gone to Africa yet, but Liberia just opened up, and I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, the Knok Studio funds exclusively pay for the actual production of the films for the people, and then my wife and I pay out of our own pocket to actually take her and the kids and stuff like that. But yeah, anywhere I go with my family, they're my #1 ministry, and I'd say that Lucy and Penny, who are 5 and 8, they're almost better, they connect better with the culture than I do. They can sleep anywhere, and they're just like, they could pick up a stick and build a relationship off of that stick. It's so cool. So, preaching to you guys here, go with your family. Always go with your family. More questions? Yes, sir.
How did you start?
How did I start? The question is, how did I start? The question is, how did I start? It was back in 2010 in West Africa, Sierra Leone. I was the volunteer videographer on board the giant hospital ship called Mercy Ships. And I lived there for about 5 to 6 months with my wife. She is a nurse. And I was a videographer. I thought that was really weird that they hired a videographer. And the more I did my work for them, the more I realized how smaller organizations like Plateau Outreach Ministries, for example, or Corner of Love, or Tamar's Hope, they don't have full-blown marketing departments like Mercy Ships does. And so I kind of started Knok Studio to go to serve ministries and nonprofits on a project-to-project basis. And those who send us, we usually put at the very end, like, hey, this film sponsored in part by Rotary Club, or a bunch of friends' names or something like that. So, yes, one more question if you don't mind. Is that okay? Cool. Yes, the handsome one in the back.
Going to these high-risk areas.
What about the high-risk areas?
Yeah, when you enter them, how do you have security?
Oh, the question is, in the high-risk areas, how do we have security? Oh, and now for one thing, first, we keep our distance, and wherever we go. No, we don't. I had to use that prop. So, yeah, I live a crazy kind of faith where I tend to be the one stepping out of the boat, and Jesus kind of makes it work. He really does. I could go down so many incidents of being detained from the Maoist terrorist strongholds of Nepal in the Himalayas to the war-torn beaches of Sierra Leone. It's not uncommon to be stopped by people with AK-47s, and because I've got a camera and I'm obviously not from around here. And so, yeah, I'm definitely a target. But I would encourage you, when you step out of your comfort zone in faith, God just makes it work. Some people look at it as really stupid and really reckless, but it just works. I don't really know how, but it just works. So sorry to not answer your question there. I do teach mixed martial arts, so I guess I could try to take him down, but case-to-case basis. We'll see. Okay. I think that might be it because it is 12:56 right now. Is that okay?
That is good.
Hey, there we go. All right. Thank you, everybody back at home. Thank you, everybody there on Facebook. Look at all these wonderful people. Hey, guys, you should come to Rotary. Right? Here. Look at all these wonderful smiling faces. They are making a huge impact in the world. Okay, we're going to end this live feed right now, okay? And now we're going to talk about all the people on Facebook.